Okay, welcome everybody to another session, to the day one of the course SRE, Site Reliability Engineering and Cloud Performance Engineering in DevOps. Okay, so we are here right now in day one. As you can see, today is 17th March, and we will have this session for about 1 hour. And then from the next weekend onwards, we'll have mostly we'll have around 2 hours of sessions. Day two on 23rd, Saturday, we're gonna meet for 1 hour. And then from Sunday, we're gonna meet for 2 hours. And it's always gonna be 2 hours. So next Saturday also gonna be for 1 hour. Okay. Now, in the last session, we talked about the course. And I hope everybody understood that the intention of this course. This course is intended to take care of the latest what's going on in the industry, be it DevOps, be it microservices, be it cloud, right? Uh, so we have been taking care of all the latest one that's going on, and we will understand the containerization as well, right? So when I say microservices, I mean containerization, Docker, Kubernetes as well, right? So let me just go brief about this course again. I believe some of a few of you might not have got a chance to look into that. I'm going to just spend some 15 minutes about the course, and then you can ask any questions, and then we'll dive into directly into the course of day one agenda, right? So the way we go about this course is that we need to understand that this course is from scratch, okay? So I don't um, kind of there's no prerequisite as such. If you are from IT, a couple of years experience, if you have basics of networking, you understand computer, right? If you have worked on performance testing, some tool, right, or some operations or functional testing, right? That's all about it. Okay, so we don't expect a lot from you from this for this course, and this course is from scratch. So when I say scratch, so this is the first topic. We'll start this today, right? Cloud, and we'll talk about AWS. So I really don't expect anything you to know. I just want you to know that you have worked on on-prem, and if you could know the difference between on-prem and cloud, that would be good. If not, we will take it from there itself, right? So the first topic is cloud. This is the first topic, and we'll talk about AWS, and everything is hands-on, right? So when I say hands-on, so everybody, you know that all the cloud services offers the some free tier, be it AWS, Azure, or GCP. They offer every cloud service provider, they offer some free tier. So we will create an account, and so that we can all practice here. So I'm going to demonstrate things here. We will take up around 25 services. EC2, IAM, storage services, ES3, EFS, EBS, CloudWatch. We'll talk about EKS, right? We'll talk about load balancers. We talk about auto scaling group. So we'll talk about databases, RDS, DynamoDB. So we have quite a bit in this course that we'll talk about AWS, and it's from scratch. So you don't need to have any requisite knowledge. So and this goes up about 3 weekends. So we spend approximately 10 to 12 hours on the cloud part. Whatever you see here, we cover every topic here, and it's from scratch. Everything is hands-on. VPC we cover in detail, because VPC is the most important topic that we have, right? Now, this course is a very lengthy course, right? And that's why what we have done, we have split that. Earlier, we didn't have the recorded session, okay? And this course used to take approximately 4 months to complete. And then we came up with this idea that why can't, because 4 months was too much for anybody. We got the feedback, and the way we have designed this course is that we give 30% as the recorded session, which you can cover. And that's going to be my recorded sessions mostly. So when you go over cloud, we will be giving you Linux recorded sessions. Okay. You can say this. the recorded, what we promise here recording, we give that recording. So it's no hidden thing here. So recorded system will be provided for the Linux. So we will go over the cloud, and you are expected to learn Linux. And it's the basics of Linux, right? How we navigate, right? For example, right? If I ask you to open a file in Windows, you know how to do that. If I ask you to navigate directories, C drive to D drive, some folder, can we do the same thing in Linux? Can we install a software? Can we can we zip, can we compress a file, zip a file in Linux? Right? We know all those things in Windows. Most of us have not got an exposure to work on Linux. That's why we have this. So from very scratch, and we have 3.5 hours, approximately 4 hours of recorded session. I'm going to show you what you get. You will get this kind of playlist. Those who get enrolled, you will get this kind of playlist, access to this playlist once you get enrolled, and you would be getting this. As you can see, this recorded sessions, exactly the same, 3 recorded sessions, and it's from very scratch. I'm talking about from the cell, what is cell, and then how to create a directory. From that level, how do you see present working directory, to the top command, to other commands, mp stat command, what all you get. So a lot of things from the performance perspective, from the monitoring perspective, and from the Linux basics perspective. Chmod, chown, right? File permissions, how do you change all those things? So if you can see it, about approximately 3.5 hours of recorded session you would be given. And you're expected to complete that along with AWS sessions. So you need to also put efforts. This course is quite demanding, and the 2 months is going to be 2.5 months, 2 to 2.5 months is going to be really a good learning session for you, right? Because I'll be taking up AWS, and you're expected to complete this, because I'll be typing commands. VI command I will type, and let's say most of you or few of you would not have ever used VI. VI is the editor, right? How you open a file in Windows and edit. Same thing we have in Linux VI editor. So we can open a file, we can edit something. So those kind of things. So this is going to be the first thing that we would share, and we would share in a sequence manner. We would not dump you, right? Take everything. You would not be able to uh, do justice with those things. So that's the intention. Okay. So after we complete AWS part, and you would be going over this after AWS. So this is the live sessions. AWS is the live sessions, and Linux is the recorded session. Once we do that, we'll talk about the software architectures: monolithic, microservices, Docker, containers, Kubernetes. All is going to be the live sessions. We take up those things. All right. A lot more things. I don't want to go in detail. Just know Docker, Kubernetes, a lot more things. Auto scaling, horizontal pod auto scaler, vertical auto scaling, a lot of things. Services, load balancer, cluster IP, node port. So a lot of things. And we would be using EKS. I'll be showing you EKS cluster will be create, and we'll be practicing with that. So every cloud has this managed service. We'll use AWS EKS. When we are going through those live sessions, you'd be given the recorded session of performance engineering. Okay. So as you can see here, Java performance engineering, because that's important from a SRE perspective, because we need to troubleshoot Java applications. We need to debug, we need to go over the logs, understand the issues in production as an SRE engineer. So we have given this recorded session. Again, it's going to be mine recorded session itself. So approximately 10 hours of recorded session. So when we are going over Docker, Kubernetes, you'd be also given this, and you're expected to go over, right? Performance engineers, they understand. We'll talk about GC algorithm, JVM architecture, memory management, how Java does memory management. How do we analyze heap dump, thread dump? How do we take those things, GC log? We talk about those things here. So I'm going to show you the playlist for that. Here is the playlist. Okay. Java performance engineering. So approximately 10 hours of recorded session here. You would see day 1 to day 9, approximately 10 hours of recorded session, more than that also. Okay, more than that, but 10 hours for sure. This will have a lot of details about performance engineering, how is different from performance testing, JVM architecture. Uh, we have all the parallel collector, CMS, G1, GC, JVM algorithm, what are different operations, heap dump, thread dump, GC log analysis, all we have taken care. So you're expected to go over this when we're talking about Docker and Kubernetes, right? So that's again, full packed. You will be full packed. So again, this entire microservices chapter will again take 3 weekends, right? So with AWS and microservices, Docker, Kubernetes, your 1.5 months is going to be like over. Then we talk about Jenkins. We talk about DevOps. This is the topic. We talk about performance engineering and DevOps. We'll talk about CI/CD pipeline. How do we work on that? We will install Jenkins. We'll create pipeline. We will also create performance pipeline using Jenkins job, right? So we will take up that here. And you would be given, when we are going over this, you would be given recorded sessions on the Java coding and Python coding. Okay, because as an SRE engineer, you need to also learn programming. You must have some basics so that you can leverage this for the automation. So these are the recorded sessions you would be getting. Yeah. Somebody has any question? Okay. So we will take that Jenkins DevOps as the live sessions, but you would be going over these programming concepts, Java and Python on your own. And these are not my recorded sessions. Somebody else from Isha has taken this up. We are clubbing these programming things, right? After that, we'll talk about monitoring. Again, all live sessions. We'll talk about the monitoring. We'll talk about Prometheus, Grafana. We'll talk about Elk. How do we install? How do we set up? How do we see graphs, panels, dashboards? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about toil, eliminating toil and automation using Terraform and Ansible. It's not full-fledged, okay? Understand Terraform and Ansible takes a lot of time to complete. It's not a full-fledged. I'm going to give you an exposure so that you can take up interview questions. So it's like 2 hours of each. Ansible will take about 3 hours, and Terraform we talk about 2 hours, right? So this is what we have planned this. It's all about the fundamental basic thing, how to get started and how do we work on that automation. It's good to get started with that. It's not the expert level of Terraform and Ansible. We have not covered everything about here. It's a quite big course, right? It's not possible to club every topic with full detail in 2 months. It's going to take 6 months if we go over in detail. So that's about this course, okay? And then we'll talk about SRE topics. What is SRE, different terminology that we have, fault tolerance, HA, disaster recovery, about SRE roles and responsibility, what you do, what is incident management, change management, what is SLIs, SLOs, SLAs, error budgets. We'll talk about those things at the end, right? So this is what this course is, right? So there are mixed of live sessions, mostly live sessions and recorded session as well. On the recorded sessions, what you have the Linux, you have the Java performance engineering, and you have the Java and Python coding. This is what you have in the recorded session. Apart from that, whatever I have explained, it's everything going to be live sessions. And you're gonna again, this is going to be the playlist. How this playlist will look like, your general playlist that we will go over, the SRE, right? This is the playlist. Every day it will be shared. As you can see here, we have taken approximately 27 sessions, right? So it's going to be approximately 35 to 40 hours here, live sessions. Right? So this is about the course, and this is about the flow. Any questions on this? Anybody? I'll take a pause here for some time.
Hi sir, Sudipta here. So sir, my question is, if can I get us some materials or something in a PDF or documentation and sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think I have not showed you. Okay, I did so in the last session. Absolutely, you would get a lot of slides, lot of documents. Let me show you from the last batch, which have just completed. I'll show from there itself. So if I show you the last in December, we started and we are just completing, right? These are all the things that you would get. All the PPTs, all the slides, YAMLs. I'll just show you. It's on the PPTs. So first PPT is for AWS, then Linux, then these are for the microservices, Docker containers, Kubernetes. This is about the Jenkins. I'll show you about the cloud, right? So again, this is a full-fledged PPT, and we get approximately 150 slides here. Okay, not less than that in AWS here. So as you can see here, we have approximately, because AWS and Kubernetes are the most, we take a lot of time. Okay, approximately 150 slides here. Okay, similarly you have for Linux, right? For every topic that we are talking about, every topic you would get this PPT, and we are covering from very scratch. Linux, different commands, what are different commands that we use, some screenshots, and you would see when you go over the sessions, you would understand better. This is about the Linux. This is about the cloud. We talk up from a lot of things. So we'll mostly everything is quite explanatory in the slides that we have captured. Okay. Um, how do you take AWS account? About the VPC. Let's see if I just explain you about the VPC. How do you VPC works? And what is the CIDR? So a lot details. Okay. Similarly, you have slide number 3 is for the microservices, Docker here, a container engine is the Docker. So again, you're going to have PPTs for this as well. I'll talk about the Docker architecture. I'll talk about the microservice architecture. I'll talk about what is containerization, how different it from VMs, containers, and VMs, Docker container lifecycle, Docker architecture, a lot of commands, right? A lot of commands. I'm going to show you, I'm going to give you a list of all the commands that you have. Quite handy, very useful. Again, on the 4th slide, we have Kubernetes sessions, right? Uh, Again, Kubernetes is going to be quite a big one, 100 slides approximately, because we have a lot of topics we cover in detail here. Whatever required for SRE and performance engineering minds from the scope, we have covered everything here in this. This is node port, then we have called load balancer, how it works. So everything in detail with all the commands, right? A lot more details. Again, this is 5th one is for the Jenkins, the DevOps, right? So everything is full, a lot of details. Whatever we are covering, we have these things in the documentation as well. And not just that, you will have some screenshots, some commands, a lot of details. I'm going to say some, this is for the AWS Solution Architect certification. I share something, kind of a list of questions, not dumps, list of questions. If you go over that 450 questions, you can clear AWS certification exam as well. A lot of screenshots here. Very useful information. Let's say if you talk about VPC, what I have shown here. If somebody knows about VPC, I have tried explaining about the VPC architecture here. I have drawn this and I've taken this screenshot here, and I just pasted it. And then in the we have all the YAMLs, all the Kubernetes. In the Kubernetes we share all the YAMLs. So we share all the YAMLs, all the code snippets, and then on the SRE module, uh, we have got uh, again slides for the SRE performance engineering. If you look at the performance engineering, we have a lot of documentations I have shared. This is the slide And then on the documentations about the Java performance, I have shared a lot of good books, PDFs to read. It's quite repo, okay. It's very useful repo. On the performance engineering, Java performance engineering, if you see what all we have covered in the recorded sessions, you're gonna see that. Earlier, I used to take the live sessions, but again, we have split that so that we can complete in 2.5 months. JVM architecture, how Java code execution works, JVM architecture, about all the JVM architecture here, and then all the algorithms. I have explained you the Java heap layout of JVM, and all the how different cycles that we have for parallel GC, G1 GC, how they operate. Um, Very good. Okay, I would say a lot of information. Okay, then thread dump, heap dump, all the parameters, JVM arguments, the importance of JVM arguments, what is shallow heap, retained heap, from a heap dump perspective, how to analyze using MAT tool, what all to see in the heap dump, right? A lot of information and a lot of links. And if you see the monitoring part, I have shared all the steps for the Grafana, Prometheus, Grafana, and Elk stack, all the commands that you could think of, the installation part and the explanation part in the PDF, and all the commands I have shared. Prometheus installation, in what we see everything live. Okay, I have taken the history. I have just written the history, and I have taken all the commands. So a lot of information. Okay. And on the automation, eliminating toil, we have Terraform and Ansible. We have it here, Terraform and Ansible. So we're gonna share this all the things with you, whatever you see it here, on the time to time basis. I'm not gonna dump everything because I don't want you to just get lost. Okay, I want you to learn in a very sequential manner. By the end of the course, you will have every detail that you see it here. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Sumant has a question. I have 2 years of experience in automation testing, but now I want to switch to SRE role. Is this course? Yes, Sumant. This course will immensely help you. Since you have automation background, you should be good with one programming language, I believe, right? Uh, it could be Java or Python, whichever you are comfortable with, but you must be good with one of the programming language, and that will add value, right? Because we're gonna take care of other things that you have not exposure on, right? Because this is not an automation Selenium course, right, or rest assured course. So all you require, your Java coding or your coding experience will help here in taking you to SRE, because one of the important role apart from troubleshooting is automation in SRE. So SRE talks about troubleshooting as well as automation, and you already have automation. We're going to take care of infrastructure, automation, containers, Docker, Kubernetes here, and then you'll be all sorted. Monitoring, then you'll be all sorted. Yes. So all the performance engineers, all the automation engineers, operations engineers, they're gonna get benefited with this course. Become an SRE engineer. Okay, Sumant, I
Okay,
hope
sir. Thank you.
that answers
Yeah,
your
yeah.
question. Okay, good. Any other question? We have got 3 minutes, and I'm going to dive into my day one agenda. 3 more minutes for the Q&A.
Any topics that you would be covering on GitHub or GitLab integration?
Okay. See, we talk about GitHub, how it works, Git add, Git commit, Git push. We do cover those things, right? We do cover, yes, as part of the DevOps module. We do cover those topics about how Git works. So we do have that git add, git commit, but it's not a full-fledged. Okay, see git if you want to learn, right? Git itself would take approximately 8 hours, okay, to learn all the commands, right? So, but we are covering to get you started because that's what we need to get started with, right? So we do cover git commands, right? As you can see here, git init command, git add command, git commit command. So we'll talk about GitHub, not GitLab. We'll cover from GitHub perspective, Git and GitHub.
Thank you.
Hi Roshan. Once after we started this course, you will be sharing some videos related to the Linux operating system and all, right? So
Absolutely.
regarding the practice, so how can we take it forward? Basically, let's say if we have Windows machine, would you be helping us to do the installation for the Linux, or we can take a VM in the Amazon web space and we can do the practice.
Yeah,
So
got your
how
question.
exactly that?
Got your
Yeah.
question. So today we are on day 1, right? You would learn, I'm going to demonstrate you in the next session itself. How do you create a Linux VM in AWS? Today, if not today, to the next session, which is going to have on Saturday. Next Saturday, I'm going to tell you how to, because that's the first thing. The first thing that we cover in AWS is EC2. EC2 is the service we use to get the server, Elastic Compute Cloud. And I would guide you how to get this account, but EC2 is the service we use to get the server. And the first thing that we would do is to get the Linux server. And once you have that, you can practice it. So I'm going to demonstrate this the next session itself. If not today, I'm going to try it in next half an hour itself. If not, on the next session. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because that's the first topic we have, cloud, and that's the first thing I saw up. So yes.
Yeah. Also, in case of any unforeseen reasons, if we taken off for a particular week, so but you will be sharing the recorded sessions for the
Recorded session. Absolutely.
all the right. So, in case of any further doubts, and if we are over time for that particular day, so how those can be taken up in the next session, or how
See,
can we reach out to you?
I would be expecting you to go over the recording, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's a fair ask, right? Because
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
say you have missed a session. You cannot come blank and say, explain me what all you have covered, right? That cannot be the question, correct?
Yes. Yes.
You need to ask any specific question, and a specific question doesn't take longer than 5 to 10 minutes. So I am ready to cover that in the last part, right? So that's
Yeah.
absolutely welcome. Yes.
Yeah.
If you have a specific question, and if you've already gone over the recording which you have missed, let's say you missed some day, let's say you missed day 10th, right? So I'll be expecting you to come prepared, right? You cannot come blank. That's the main thing. Okay. Anyone any more? 1 minute. I can wait. If not, we'll start with day 1 agenda. I'll take a pause for 1 minute, just in case anybody wants to ask. If not, I'm going to start. Okay, perfect. So we are on day 1. And what we should know is about cloud. Okay. That's the first topic that we have. If you look at this is the first topic, and we would try to complete fundamentals of cloud today in next half an hour. Okay. So what do you know about cloud? I would like to know from you. What is your understanding? Anybody, feel free. Okay, let's have this interactive sessions going on. I really like people ask questions, interrupts me. I like it. Okay, trust me. So because you are thinking and when you are involved, that makes the session interesting. So feel free to unmute yourself, and even if it's wrong answer, no problem. Okay, I'm here. You are here. You're joining this course to learn, right? I just want to know your opinion so that we can get started. What is, from your opinion, what is cloud? Yeah, Ratna, go ahead. You're unmuted.
Okay, sir. Okay. It's an infrastructure which is not under our control, but it is somewhere outside, uh, where we are limited to. It's more like a invisible infrastructure. We
Okay.
can straight away use it, and moreover, it is an elastic thing. I can expand and what do you say? Reduce the structure as and when needed.
Okay, I can understand what you're trying to say. You will get a better understanding in some time. Anybody else? Anybody else?
I want to ask one more question. So is it related to when you say cloud, which area we will be touching on,
I'm
like
just talking about in
AWS,
general.
Azure?
Okay, I'm talking about
In
in general. What is your understanding of cloud? When somebody says cloud, AWS, what is your understanding? Is what I'm asking. Anything, all related fields. There are a lot of services. I'm asking in general. Yeah, Vivek.
Cloud is basically it's like a group of server which are in a particular network. So as and when we needed, we can take means whatever the capacity we need, we can take on our requirement. Whatever the requirement, we
See,
can take
the
in that
same
one.
thing holds. So whatever you are saying,
Mm,
right, Vivek,
mm.
it's gonna be holds good for on-prem also, right? In on-prem also, we have group of servers.
Yeah, yeah. But in that case means on-prem means we will be using the complete server, but in the cloud, as and when our requirement, we can use on that particular server or
Okay,
particular storage capacity.
okay. I got it. I got it. What you're trying to say. Okay, let me put my 2 cents in it. Okay, so this is the cloud slide. Okay, I'm gonna close all the other slides, all the other things that I have opened. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the first thing. Okay. So when I say cloud, so understand that I'm asking you the difference between on-prem and cloud. Why so? See, your data center, this is how a data center looks like. This is how a data center. So data center, anybody can set up, right? Your any company like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Oracle, IBM, right? All the major companies that you know, Facebook, WhatsApp, they all have this kind of facility. We call it data center. Just understand that in the outskirt of a city, multiple acres of land has been purchased and an infrastructure facility has been constructed. And then in that facility, a lot of servers are purchased. And these servers host your application. These servers are used for the storage, right? A lot of servers, all the rooms full of servers like this. This is what we call a data center. In on-prem also, this is the data center. In cloud also, this is the data center. It doesn't matter. What is then on-prem? See, if you own it, if you own means you have purchased, or you where you work, your company has purchased the land, constructed this building, purchased these hardwares. A lot of investment goes here. They need to maintain a separate power grid to provide electricity, constant electricity for all the servers. These servers will generate a lot of heat, cooling mechanism. Obviously, this facility has to be secure, so security personnel will be there. The servers may run out of issue, they will have some issues, so you need to replace timely basis. So a lot of investments is required. Not everybody can afford to set up this kind of infrastructure. This is what we call it data center. Now the question is whether you own it or you don't own it. Let's say you own it, that then it becomes on-prem, on-premise. If you own it, let's say you work in a company, the way the company owns such a data center, then you can say that it's on-prem. But let's say you have not purchased this. You have some application to be deployed, or you have some storage to be done. Let's say Netflix. Netflix has a lot of content to store, right? A lot of applications to be deployed, right? So, and Netflix do not want to, let's say Netflix doesn't want to invest in this kind of data center. So what he's done, Netflix has approached AWS. So AWS has set up this data center across the globe, approximately 100 of such data centers AWS owns as of now, as we speak. 100 means which is having a lot of investment. Same thing for Azure, same thing for GCP. So for AWS, it's a business. So Netflix wants to store something, and Netflix doesn't have a data center because it needs a lot of investment. And AWS has this data center, and it's a business model for them, and they have done it so that others can use it. Like how we stay in rented apartment. As long as we pay rent, we can stay there comfortably. We can enjoy the apartment, all the facilities. The moment we stop paying, we will not be able to stay there, right? We'll be asked to leave, right? Same thing for cloud. Netflix or any other, those who want to use cloud, they will pay some rent. Let's say Netflix wants to use some 100 of petabytes of data because it has a lot of content. So Netflix has to pay AWS for that. Netflix doesn't own anything. Does Netflix own anything? No. All the server, all the infrastructure is owned by AWS. Let's say Netflix has some application that he wants to deploy. Netflix would like to deploy that. So again, Netflix asks for some, let's say 20, 100 of servers, 100 servers. So again, depending on core and the RAM, Netflix will pay that much of amount to AWS. So as long as Netflix pays the amount, we call it monthly bill, the services will be operational. Netflix stop paying, services will not be operational because Netflix doesn't own anything. So it's all about you own it or you don't own it. Data center is still same for on-prem or in cloud. In on-prem, you have purchased it, so there is no point, right? Because everything you own it, so you basically own everything. So it's all good. But in the cloud, because it's a huge investment, but in the cloud, you don't own anything. You leverage somebody else's data center and you pay some amount to use the servers, to use some storage, to use different services. Does that make sense? Hope it's clear, the definition on-prem and cloud. What do we mean by cloud? So all the things that you see, AWS, Azure, GCP, it's for them, it's a business model. Use it, pay as you go. They want you to use it so that they can get amount, bill, right? Revenue, because they have done the investment. And they earn a lot, obviously. Okay, is the definition clear, guys? On-prem versus cloud. So it's all about you own it or you don't own it. It's the same data center and you don't own it, you leverage it. So if I ask, if I have to define cloud, I can say the use of hardware and software over the internet. All I need is the internet connectivity. All I need is this console. I will talk about this console. This is called a management console. And I can go to any regions wherever AWS is present. I told you, right? 100 such data centers AWS has. So, and they are classified into regions. So I can go to any region. In India, they have two regions, Mumbai and in Hyderabad. Then they have in Europe, they also have in US. They have data centers all across. You just being in the remotest part of the country, being in village, you can create server, you can create storage in any part of the globe because you have this management console. Using this management console, I can create servers in US. I can deploy the application in that server. Or let's say if my application is for Australian people, let's say I have a business idea for Australian people. I would deploy I will select a different region here. I will select near to Australia. I will select some region like Melbourne. I can select the region and I can deploy the application. I can create a server and I can deploy my application there so that the user from Australia get the least latency, better response time. Okay, guys. So am I clear now on the definition part? What is cloud and how different it is from on-prem? Does that make sense to all of you? Please give me give me a thumbs up or type yes or unmute yours to say yes. If not, ask me any question. Okay, good, good, right? This is what the cloud is. And this is how different from on-prem. So what these companies have done, for them, it's a business model. They have set up data centers across the globe. They call it regions. If I talk about the AWS global infrastructure, okay, if I talk about that, let me show you how many data centers they have. 105 data centers. They call it availability zones. So data centers are called availability zones. It's the AZ. In AWS term, we call it availability zone. Availability zone, you can simplify this as the data center. And they are present in 33 launched regions. Don't think regions as the country. No. In India, we have two regions. Mumbai in Hyderabad. You can see all this, right? All the yellow dots are the regions. They are present. In India, they are present in Hyderabad and in Mumbai. And you can see the availability zones. In Mumbai, they have 3 AZs. In Hyderabad, they have 3 AZs. It is for HA. They don't have only single AZ per region. No, it's not that case. For high availability, I'll talk about high availability, but remember, one region has got multiple AZs. Similarly, they have regions in Sydney, in Melbourne, in Australia. Then you have in UAE, Bahrain, that in Israel, they have in this city, Tel Aviv, right? So, and the red ones are coming up. They're coming up in New Zealand, they're coming up in Malaysia, Thailand, Saudi Arabia, they're coming up. So they're growing. Germany, in US, North America, they have in Ohio, they have in Canada Central, Canada West, right? They have multiple places, right? In Africa, they have in St. Palo, right? In South America and in Africa, they have in Cape Town, right? So, and they're growing because it's a huge investment, right? So setting up a data center is huge investment. And why they are doing this? Because they want to give access to all the people in the globe across the world. Let's say if if I have a business idea and I am trying to build one application for Indian people. So obviously I have got two options, Mumbai and in Hyderabad. I can use their servers storage, right? And I can deploy my application. I don't need to purchase anything. I don't need to set up a data center of my own. I can simply create this. I can get access to this management console, and I can select Mumbai. If I need server, all the things that you access is through services. Okay. So let's say if I want server, for server, the service is called EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2, virtual servers in the cloud. So I can get EC2, and I can create servers of my own requirement. 2 vCPUs, 8 core, 16 core. If I need some storage, I can get S3. In all the Netflix content that you see, they're all hosted in S3. S3 is the simple storage service in S3. All the Netflix content that you watch, Hotstar content that you watch, Amazon Prime videos that you watch, is all stored in S3. Simple storage service. Right? So how to get this account? Okay. So let's talk about this first. Then tomorrow, the next session, I'll talk about EC2, and I will talk about how to create a server, how to log in, and a lot of details. I'll talk about that. Let's say today, let's understand this. I want everybody to be on the same page. I want everybody to create this account. What you can do, you can go to one link. I'll tell you the link. Go to aws.amazon.com. It's the amazon.com website only. AWS is the subdomain. Use this aws.amazon.com. Okay, just go to this link. Right? You can create an AWS account, and you can opt for the free tier. Every cloud, not just AWS, Azure also, GCP also, they all offer free tier because they want you to learn. Because if you learn, you can recommend, and then their business would grow. Right? So every cloud, they have given this free service. For them, it's a business model, right? They want to grow. If more people know a particular cloud, their business will grow. So create an AWS account, sign up. Okay, normally sign up using your email address and phone number. You can sign up. Provide the email address at the rate of gmail.com, something. Give a account name, verify your email address, and just do a couple of steps. They will ask you the credit card detail. Okay, I can vouch for it that they will not misuse your credit card or debit card. It will work with both. For Indian cards, they may deduct 2 rupees. Okay. For international card, they may deduct $1. Okay. But they will not misuse you. Okay. They will not auto detect. That's the one thing that I have been seeing for multiple years. You need to pay the amount. They will not auto detect. So complete this process. Okay. And you would be getting this page. You would be asked to sign in, like how I'm going to sign out, right? So again, if I want to sign in, I need to provide the credentials, right? The user, look at this root user, the email address which you'll be using to sign up, right? Do use the root user and then use the same password which you'll be using it. And then you can sign in, and then you would be able to log into the management console. Select the free tier. Okay. Don't select anything else. Select the free tier when you're getting the account. Okay. I'm going to give you a few minutes, guys. Okay. Create the account. It hardly takes 5 minutes to 10 minutes, 5 minutes maximum. You can do it right away. Those who already have, they do not need to create an account again. Are we doing it? Shall I wait? You could type doing, not doing. We'll do later. Anything. If you could type it, I can understand what's happening. Okay. Sudipta is trying. Okay, go ahead. Do it. I'm going to wait for 5 minutes. Okay. Sure. GS Bass. Fine. Go ahead. Do that. As you're doing it, I'm going to talk about a definition. So can I say cloud, the use of software and hardware over the internet? Can I say that? Because I can create server, I can create storage, I can deploy any application. I can be in any place, in any remote place, in a village. I just need my laptop and internet connectivity. That's all. And I can do wonders. I can create any infrastructure in any part of the world. So can I define cloud as the use of software and hardware over the internet? Yes or no? Think about it. The use of software and hardware over the internet? Yes? Yes.
Yes, makes sense.
Right? The cloud computing is computing based on the internet, or the use of hardware and software over the internet, right? Why we use cloud computing? Because it helps, because not everybody can afford to set up a data center. It's a very costly thing. So cloud computing helps you to achieve efficiency, cost reduction. Let's say today I have started my business. I have few users, right? So let's say I'm using only 5 or 10 servers. Tomorrow I did well and my business, let's say, grows. I don't need to worry about purchasing the servers, right? Those kind of overhead. I can simply, with a click of a button, I can get more servers. Scalability. Scalability is not a concern for me. I'll pay more rent, definitely. I'm going to a bigger house, obviously I have to pay more rent. But getting a house, I need to purchase the house, right? Purchasing the house, bigger house is the concern. If more people are coming in, I am getting some business, so I can go to a rent with a bigger house, right? Same thing, I can pay rent for more servers if my business is growing, right? I'm anyway getting the money from my own business. So scalability is not a concern. I can scale as much I need with a click of a button in the cloud, because they want you to use as much servers, as much storage, because their business would grow. AWS, Azure, GCP. So scalability is not a problem with the cloud. Disaster recovery, people use it cloud as the DR setup, because let's say those who have even on-prem, they don't want to set up again one more on-prem. So what they do for the DR setup, what they do, because a lot of investment, right, in the in setting up an on-prem. So what they do, they use cloud as a DR scenario, DR site. Yeah, data is secure. A lot of security they offer, right? I get a lot of control. So a lot of good benefits of cloud. Okay. I hope we are good. I'm going to show you one service today, EC2. If we don't have time today a lot, but EC2 is one of the, I'll tell you the history. In 2007, in the next session, I'm going to show you. Elasticity, yes. So elasticity is like grow, right? You can grow more servers. You can take as many servers. It's same as scalability. Let's say if my business is not doing great, I was using 20 servers. I can reduce my server consumption to 5 servers if my business is not growing. So I can scale out, I can increase my service based on the load, I can scale in, I can reduce the service based on the requirement. So we call it cloud is elastic. I can scale out and scale in based on my requirements, Ratna Prasad. Right? So a lot of startups, right? Because they don't know about the fate of the business. They don't know what's going to happen, how the market going to respond to their business model, right? So for them, it's the best thing to do is go with the cloud. If the business grows, they may get more servers, they may require, they can get it. If their business is not growing, they can you go ahead with the minimal server requirements, right? In 2007, I'll tell you the brief history about AWS. AWS was launched in 2007. And they launched with 3 services. Jeff Bezos, okay? Jeff Bezos is the guy. So how he found this, okay? He was trying to set up on-prem for a website. I hope a lot of everybody knows about this website. Everybody knows about this website? We all use it, right? So Jeff Bezos, around 2005, 2006, he was setting up a data center for this website, to host this website. And he got this idea that whatever he is doing, setting up the data center, it can be leveraged to others. If we have this cloud console, right, so that others can also get servers, right? That's when he got this idea, when he was setting up on-prem for Amazon.com. And in 2007, AWS was launched with 3 services: EC2 for the server, S3 for the storage, and SQS for the queue service. SQS queue service, simple queue service. Developers use that for the queuing mechanism. So these are the 3 services AWS was launched with in 2007. Do we know the list of services as of now, 2024? Just a guess, anybody? How many services they have right now? 3 services they started with. Any guesses how many services they have now?
500.
No, you're giving a wrong number. 200 plus. A lot of services, and they're still growing. Still growing. And based on the changing market, they are adopting. If you look at the services list, if I just show you the list, they are in robotics, they are in IoT, they are in satellite, game development, media services, machine learning, game development. They are everywhere. If I talk about machine learning, they have so many services in machine learning. If I talk about robotics, they have so many services, only one robo maker. Quantum technology, they have Amazon Bracket. For the satellite services, they have ground station. Right? For storage, again, they have S3 and a lot of other services, EFS. In the Internet of Things, they have so many services. So the count is 200 plus, okay? That's how it is. So everybody is expected to have an account in AWS. And we will start our first service, EC2, in the next session. First thing, we'll talk about how to create the server so that you can practice the Linux. So those who are looking forward to be part of this course, exciting learning opportunity, get enrolled. One of the best decisions that you can do with your career, because I know what this course would bring to you. And yeah, we'll start with EC2. Okay, next session. Okay, and we will share the Linux session the next weekend itself, so that once you get the EC2 access Linux console, you can practice. Okay, so that's all, guys, for today from my side. We'll meet next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. IST. Sounds good? Everybody, go ahead.
Yeah, Roshan, thank you. I
Okay.
just told
Everybody is expected to create the AWS account. I need everybody to have this console logged in. Then only you can practice along with me. I can go slow so that you can practice also. Okay, so but everybody, if you are logging in, use your laptop, mobile and all, right? You cannot do anything. I want you to your full attention. You can make the most out of it when you have your full attention. When you join with laptop, you can practice. dedicated, undivided attention will help you a lot in next 2-3 months. Okay, that's all, guys, from my side. Thank you so much. We'll meet next weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.